I've heard about other people having success with paid acquisition to grow their business, but I've never actually got it to meaningfully work for me. It's mostly been word of mouth and referrals, which most business owners will resonate with. But about 2 months ago, I had a really good idea on a high ticket offer that I thought would be perfect for paid acquisition, and I've actually been having some success with it. So I wanted to make this video to document the process, share what I've learned, and see if it could potentially help you. So the problem with word of mouth and referrals is that they happen at their own pace. And there's really not a whole lot that you can do to increase the amount of volume that's going to come from those channels. And you get to a point where the customers that you're losing are not being replaced by your main intake source. And paid acquisition, lead generation through Meta or whatever advertising platform you're using, is much more scalable because you can pay to put that creative out in front of somebody and have leads coming into your system. And you would hear the advertising agency guys talking about, hey, wake up to a calendar booked of meetings, which I dreamed of being possible, but I thought it was just kind of more snake oil salesman. But honestly, in the last couple days, my sales rep has had a booked calendar of calls, all from our marketing. And really the goal of this is for every dollar that you put into that advertising machine, you get $1, $2, $3 back, right? You can talk about way grander ROAS than that, return on your ad spend. But I was just looking at this like, hey, if I can spend money here and not lose money, but acquire customers and just use that revenue to feed back into the machine to keep acquiring customers, that would be a freaking win. So how you figure this out is all about message market fit testing. And this was probably one of the biggest unlocks that's kind of helped me guide this whole system of figuring out what message works for what audience. Now, usually people say, hey, this is our customer avatar, so let's go find that person. But in this framework, it's more so, what are the problems that our business solves? And then who are the potential type of people that we can solve it for? And what we do is we combine the problem with the type of people, put that out as ad creatives and landing pages, and let the data sets tell us what is actually resonating out there. And that is how we steer ourselves into the most profitable market segment. Instead of just saying, here's who we serve, go out and find them. It's like, hey, here are a couple of the ideas that I think are going to work. Let's put it out there, systematically test stuff, get data through the advertising platforms and all the different places that we're looking at. What are the ads and the angles that are actually pulling people fully through the system? So let me give you some context on what I've actually tested and show you how I'm kind of testing my way to figuring out what's profitable. So I own 3 gyms. We've got 2 in Los Angeles and 1 in Connecticut. A messaging angle that I've tried is strength training if you've had previous injuries, or maybe you're on GLP-1s and you need to strength train, or maybe you're a woman on menopause and you need strength training. And then I will make an ad about that, 2 ads at like $50 a day, and I'll make a landing page with that main offer page to match that creative. So if you're doing an ad on injury prevention, you want the landing page to talk about injury prevention. You can't like push everybody to the same landing page because it's just going to feel generic and you're going to lose leads in that process. So assuming that you do that, you test kind of one angle with one avatar with your ads and then with your landing page. And then you find out what data is actually moving and advancing in your sales pipeline and process. So if you start getting sales, that's the feedback that you need to be able to say like, hey, this angle is hitting in this market. And then the last point I want to talk about is framing your offer. Now, the whole reason I went high ticket was because I need way less volume to make this thing work. I've done other campaigns where I needed like hundreds and hundreds of leads to make the thing work, but I know how difficult that is to have qualified conversations when you're playing that game. So I decided to say, okay, how could I frame an offer that if I just got 1 sale, just 1, it would cover all my ad spend for the month? So if I was doing $100 a day, 30 days, that's $3,000. Well, can I frame an offer for a $3,000 personal training or semi-personal training package? So that's what I did, because I knew if I reverse engineered my pipeline from there, I only needed 1 close not to lose money. If I was able to get 1 sale that would start to give me some actual signal that this would be working. And maybe yours is, hey, I'm gonna spend 50 a day or 20 a day. All right, well, if you do 20 bucks a day, then you got to think like that's 600 bucks in a month that I'm preparing and comfortable to lose if this thing doesn't work. And if that works with your budget, then boom, you've got your number. And then you reverse engineer from there. You say, okay, conservatively, how many calls would I have to do to close one of those? 50%, 25%? All right, boom, let's say it's 25%. So you need to have 4 calls to close one deal. And then you keep backing your way up the pipeline until you see, okay, wow, I only need 30 leads over the course of a month, or 15 leads. For every dollar I put in, I at least get $1 back. You have cash flow that you have to worry about as a business, right? I can't just burn money on ads and not make money back because I'm going to go out of business. Client finance acquisition, where if I close one client, boom, that covers all my ad spend. If I close 2 clients, that's $3,000. 3, 4 clients, and you see how it just gets more compelling the more that you can close. But because your baseline is so low with one sale, you're going to be all good when you actually start running and spending some money.